What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? I don't know what's going on. Okay. Listen, I feel like I'm coming down with something. This weather is changing. It's going up. It's going down. It don't know what it's doing. It took me out yesterday. Plus, that time of the month came on early. You know, when you get older, bitch, you think you got stuff on schedule, and then all of a sudden want to get off, and so like I'm just so out of whack. I should have known something was going on because I was so tired yesterday. I was so tired, and it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, why am I so tired? And that's why. Okay, I'm just all over the place. I just needed to rest, and I literally just woke back up. I had to take off today. I had to take off work today because it just really wasn't working. But we get into, so that's the reason why you're getting in today. Real Housewives of Potomac. God damn it, I hear it in my throat. Oh, Lord have mercy. Please don't let me get sick. Anyway, so we are back again for another episode review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Seasons 10, episode 7. Okay. Guess who's back? Girl, Mon'nique is back. Listen, I don't feel one way about Mon'nique. I just find it real particular and real, the fact that Ashley is the one that's going to reintroduce her to the group, because Ashley was the only one that truly kept up with her, and outside of Karen, out of that whole situation that happened, when Mon'nique was last on the show, you know, she got booted off, or she left the show, which I really do feel like she left the show because she came back. She came back. And they've been wanting her back, to be quite honest. For those that don't want to believe it, they've been wanting Mon'nique back. And I'm talking about Andy and them and all that stuff. They've been wanting the girl back. She kept on saying, no, girl, I'm not doing no reality TV no more. Then she went over there to do Love and Marriage Detroit with, was it Detroit? No. Love and Marriage DC with, Carlos King, and that was a flop. And that's when we start seeing the cracks, the big cracks in her relationship with Chris. And I ain't even gonna hold you. Looking at that, it kind of, because I did like Mon'nique when she was on this show, but when she was on DC, she was annoying to hell to me. She was annoying as hell to me. And it just felt like she was nagging that man. But maybe it was like that because now we was truly seeing some of the stuff that was actually going on, that she was kind of hiding what was probably going on while she was on this show. And so that's why it was like, oh, I'm so confused as to what's going on, because it seemed like you had it together over here, and now you get over here, and now all of a sudden you can't stand Chris. He doing all this, and he ain't attentive, and this and this and this. Okay, so you know, reality TV, people put on airs and all of that stuff. She probably just felt like she needed to do all of that to keep up with the girls on this group and whatever. So hey, it is what it is. They're no longer together. All right. She still stays in the house that they had as a couple that we've been seeing them in. And, you know, she's remodeled. Unfortunately, T'Challa, the bird, passed away. Oh, I just thought of Chadwick Boseman. Both of them are no longer here. That is so crazy. But, you know, may they rest in peace. Okay. But she got another bird. Caw-caw. Okay. And so Ashley comes over there, and Ashley said, you know, I met Mon'nique. We met like 9 years ago, and it was love at first sight, and we've been in love ever since. And I'm sitting here like, what? Because if that was my homegirl, and no matter if things go down or whatever, and we don't see each other every day, I know exactly what the hell is going on. But you coming over there like y'all ain't been talking for a minute. You don't know none of the shit that's been going on in her life. She don't know nothing that's been going on in your life. But y'all love at first sight. Girl, stop fucking playing with me with this shit. But I knew they was cool. But, you know, and I appreciated the fact that Ashley did stand by her when that whole situation between her and Candace went down, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to turn my back on somebody just because they beat another bitch ass in the group. Absolutely not. Okay? Was it warranted? No. We can call out the messed up behavior, But that don't mean that I gotta say F you and I don't ever want to talk to you again or whatever. No, it just felt like, especially with certain people in that group like Giselle. Giselle needed a moment and a reason to dislike not Candace, but Mon'nique. And it's so crazy because now she don't fuck with Candace either. Neither one of them, right? But yeah, I just feel like because we saw how they didn't get along when it first came on. Okay, when she first came onto the scene, the way that they're doing Angel, that little hazing thing, and shout out to Rox, because Rox was the one that brought up the word hazing, and when you look back at it, that's literally what they do when they, the new girls come onto the show. It's a little bit of a hazing ritual. That's just really what it is, okay? Mon'nique wasn't falling for it. She couldn't get Mon'nique. That's just really what it was. Angel, on the other hand, girl, you falling all of the you just fell into the hole of it, okay? You just the easy target at this point, and it's so unfortunate. We'll get on her in a second, but yeah. So we found out. Mon'nique finding out that Ashley and Giselle got a clothing line together, and she was like, "What?" Now, see, I understand that, friendship sometimes got ebbs and flows, bitch. Peaks and valleys. Sometimes we don't speak, sometimes we do. But, girl, you mean to tell me, even if I don't see you all the time, y'all ain't chit-chatting on the phone and, you don't keep up and be like, bitch, what's going on with you? Because they acted like strangers. She ain't know about the clothing line. She ain't know about this, that. She ain't know about this, that. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, it was supposed to be prayer going on, and she's going to invite them around the group. And, Mon'nique said she ain't got a problem being around Giselle. It's if Giselle got a problem being around her. And if she do, that's her problem. And I said, you know what? Facts. True. I like that. Mon'nique said she had to do a lot of soul searching. And I see that, Mon'nique is not the same Mon'nique that we seen on this show when we were first introduced. She's not as prim and proper in a sense of I have to be this way, I have to be that way because I'm a football wife and I'm this public image and all of this stuff. No, she very earthy now, very earthy. And, I love the fact that she still got her locks and they're flourishing and all of that stuff, whatever. And she said basically she had to go to therapy and she had to do a lot of inner healing and a lot of inner work. And see, this is what I may not 100%. I like Mon'nique can't be annoying. Let's just be clear, okay? Mon'nique can't be annoying, but I don't think that she's a bad person. All right, I never thought that she was a bad person. I just thought that she was annoying as hell, and that annoyance really came out when I saw her on Love and Marriage DC. Now, what Mon'nique has done, what I feel like a lot of these women should do, or people in general, once you get yourself into a situation or you get on these shows and you get in hot water, whatever, you take a step back and you go look into yourself and see what the hell was the reason for you to act the way that you did and to fucking change that. Okay. And that's what I feel like she did. She childhood trauma and all this other stuff that she didn't realize was going on, and it is what it is. So I was cool with that. Of course, this is how Ashley is going to put her into the group, and so we move on from that. We get this whole situation with Angel meeting up with her sister. Okay, I think her sister name is Ingrid. Let me tell y'all something. Saturday night. Was it Saturday night? Yeah, it was Saturday night. No. Friday. Saturday night. It was an accident that happened out here, right? Girl, I'm up here, trying to do what I do. Next thing you know, I hear this. Bam! I was like, oh my God, it sounded just like that. And then it sounded like something was dragging. Girl, I look outside. 2 cars had got hit real bad. And one person fell out the car or whatever. Girl, it was a whole mess. I'm sitting here like, oh my God. It reminded me, have y'all heard that story about what happened out there in Dallas? That girl, that woman that got hit by that car. And I don't know how the man or the person that was in the car did not know that they hit the lady while she was walking across the street, and they dragged her for a block underneath the goddamn car. And then once the car stopped, you heard her screaming. She was still alive underneath the car. She was stuck, bitch. By the time they got her to the hospital, she was dead. Oh my goodness. And this is why I have not gotten my car yet. Mind you, I got everything else. This is why, girl, I'm scared. Y'all be making me scared. But anyway, I hope they are all okay. And rest in peace to that lady. But yeah, moving on from that, Ingrid. First of all, I listen. Angel said that she 12 years older than her, and I could tell that she 12 years older than her by that name. Somebody came up into my job to get their child a library card, and do you know the child's name was Barbara? In 2025. The little girl's name was Barbara, and no, they were not black. Okay, I said, "Oh my God, wait a minute, what? Okay, y'all gonna keep them names alive? You palm colors, y'all gonna keep it alive?" But yeah, girl. So they was up there talking and everything, and see, this is where my issue with Angel comes to play. Okay, so you talking to your sister about all of this stuff that's been going on within the group, and okay, yeah, voice your frustration about Giselle bringing up the whole catfish situation and the photo and all that stuff and the Photoshop and everything. Yeah, do that because I did feel like she didn't have any good intentions for doing so. But to just be pointing out Wendy, like, what is the real issue that you have with Wendy? Okay, she ain't the only person that laughed. She ain't the only person that laughed for you to sit there and talk about something. And then Wendy, she up there with her booty hole lips and her Forrest Whitaker eye and everything. And what you doing all of that laughing for? Everybody was laughing at that table. Everybody had something to say. And it's just like you are so honed in on Wendy. Giselle even had a lot to say too. And I mean, yeah, you got on Giselle, and your sister was the one that really got on Giselle and said, "Bitch, I done seen you in person, and girl, you did a lot of touch up on that chin and everything that be up on your Instagram and all that stuff." And then you go in on Wendy about the, permanent Instagram filter look that you done made yourself and all this stuff or whatever. Okay, that's cool. Now, on the one hand, I would be okay with you saying all of this had you be the type of person that'd say this shit to their face when they was right there. I can't stand a bitch that cannot stand up for themselves right there in the moment. But then they get up in the confessionals and they saying all this stuff. They getting around their actual homegirls and they saying all this stuff about people that's coming for them. No, girl, the reason why they keep coming for you and the way you got is because you won't stand up for yourself the way that you need to. Okay, you don't cuss them bitches out in front of their face. You wait till you get to your sis and to the confessional. Cuss them hoes out right then and there because that's what they do to you. And that's what they do to everybody else. That is the name of the game. That's how you get the respect. Okay, you got to stand up, Miss Girly. I keep trying with you, girlfriend. I keep trying with you, but you keep disappointing, okay? But, I didn't get the correlation with the butthole lips and the Forrest Whitaker eyes. If you ask me, it kind of felt a little colorless, but hey, there's that. Moving on from that, but I did like the way her sister had her back, cause bitch, I don't give a fuck what's going on. My sister come telling me some shit. Who we gotta go fight? Exactly. All right. Who I gotta go talk to. Okay. Do I need to come up there? It was some shit going on with my sister at her job, my younger sister, and I was like, so who we listen? I'm all the way out here, but baby, I'll hop on the train. We'll get out there. What's going on? Okay, exactly. Moving on from that. Speaking of Wendy and Eddie is remodeling the house and it's coming up to like $100,000 and maybe even more. Excuse me. Was this before or after the insurance claim? Listen, let me stop playing. Girl, y'all saw them up at BravoCon. Girl, Eddie was laid back. Listen, Eddie looked nice at BravoCon. He was chilling, bitch. Okay, he said, this ain't got shit to do with me. I'm just here to support my wife. I'm just here to make it seem like we all on one front. Because at this point in time, I don't know what's going on with Wendy and Eddie. And I'm talking about their marriage because it feels like it could be stunts and shows. I don't want that to happen. But it feels like ever since all of this scandal came out, okay. But yeah, girl, Ashley tried to apologize for speaking out negatively against her when that them charges came out, and she was at that show or whatever talking about something, we catch melodies, not felonies over here. You know what I'm saying? And Wendy didn't take it. She said, I don't accept it. And she is absolutely correct. Because Ashley was not sincere in that apology. Okay? That's just really what it was. And what really shocked me was when she said that Giselle actually was reaching out to her. I think she said Stacy, and I think did she even say Mon'nique at one point was the ones that was reaching out to her and was talking to her with the whole scandal and everything that went down. But when Giselle got up there and basically was like, y'all the fans and everything probably wanted me to go off on her, say some nasty stuff to her, stop being friends with her. That's just not gonna happen. I said, bitch, what? Girl, I wasn't expecting all this. This is growth. We're gonna see how long that lasts. But I was here for it. Cause like that damn bitch, how long we gonna be mad at each other? And then we gonna make up and we gonna use one thing to go back on each other and be pissed off and all this stuff, whatever. And the shit didn't happen to them. She didn't do nothing to them for you to be mad. This is the time that we supposed to come together. Cause let me tell you something. I can be your friend and still be like, bitch, why would you do some dumb shit like that? Because everybody need a bitch in their corner that's going to be like, I'm not going to run away from you, but I'm going to tell you straight up, you fucked up. I'm going to still be here for you, but you fucked up. You got to hear that real. That's real friendship. Now, is that what Giselle and Wendy got? Absolutely not. But I'm okay with them still being cool. Moving on from that, speaking of, and Stacy, girlfriend, listen, Stacy, you are doing the most with this Shio. I too went on Ancestry DNA, okay? I too found out that I am part Nigerian, okay? The large make of my African ancestry is from Nigeria, okay? Sure. But do you see me out here with the Nigerian flag? Because I don't want to offend nobody, girlfriend. Bitch, I just say they my cousins, okay? We related. We are related in the circle of life. You ain't watched The Lion King, but did I come out here just changing my whole aesthetic and doing all this, baby? You can offend people. You can offend people doing stuff like that. Embrace it, but girl, don't make it your whole identity because it never was your identity. And it feels very appropriation-ish, okay? And girl, let me tell you something. You doing this whole situation with this Shio, and then you sat down with Wendy, and the way that y'all came to that meeting and y'all both was in the same was you peeking in her window? Was you peeking in her window? And then it's a whole Nigerian phrase that basically means happy. Happy Eddie, happy Stacy. Giselle one line, bitch. Giselle one line. Now, Stacy, if you didn't want nobody to come to that conclusion and let that prophecy, come true, you didn't have to name it Shio. Okay? Because whether you want to say it's Shio or not, we all know that it means happy. All right? Wendy better than me because I would have cussed her outright in there. But see, Wendy said, listen, girl, even though you giving single black female, I'm still gonna be here for you or whatever, because technically speaking, you ain't really got nobody up in this group that truly ride for you. You ain't serious, so I ain't gonna take you serious. And truth be told, I don't take Stacy as serious either. Now, when it comes to Ashley, I just don't understand why she has to get so in her feelings every time. Like, she found out about Stacy being able to come to Jazzy's wedding. Remember when she said she wasn't going to be able to be in the wedding because she had to do her the stuff with her business, which we did see her do the photo shoot and all that stuff, whatever. And she said she was able to rearrange some things so that she can actually attend. And plus, she wanted to be there for Pride or whatever with Ashley and all that stuff. And found out that she was doing the gummies. Ashley was like, see, she's lying. Oh my God. And it's like, oh my goodness, Ashley, why are you so upset? A bitch lie. Okay? Y'all lie on this goddamn show all the goddamn time. She ain't the first bitch that came on here and lied. Even when Mia was doing all those lies, you wasn't that goddamn upset in your feelings about it. As if this girl is lying about something. And this the thing. Do Stacy need to lie? No. Okay? But the way that Giselle at one point, and even Ashley currently still, and no, Kiana as well, the way they're acting with Stacy is just it's so misplaced to me. It's too much. You get what I'm saying? They making it seem like she's personally done something to them. Like she's done something so heinous to to be coming at her like this, and to just be so in their feelings about the fact that, okay, she lied about doing the goddamn, gummy. Okay, well, the person that got the gum that do weed or whatever, they're not really all that upset. Okay, they sideways eye her, but they're not tripping. So why are you tripping? Okay, so she lied about, actually going on to a real date with Chris Samuels. Okay, so what is the point? What is the purpose? She lied about having a nigga. That is not work. That's not affecting you. That's not affecting you. Okay, Giselle, you had your nigga, so what the hell? Why you feel some type of way about it? Ashley, you probably was had niggas too, so why you feel some type of way? Girl, anyway, and Kiana, I just still would never understand what your issue is with Stacy. I won't understand it because, oh, she lied about TJ. So the fuck what? You just told us that you with Greg again, and this nigga got 3 kids, 3 young kids, and you trying to make it work with him. Anyway, moving on. I do not care about Kiana and Greg's situation. Moving on, we get to this whole thing where not Ashley, but Giselle and her daughters, they going through the whole process of trying to get access to the will for her father, because they got to go to court for all of this, because she feels like the current wife that he had basically threw out the original will, so that they wouldn't be able to get nothing. And so she knows that that's false. And given how we've seen throughout the seasons when Giselle was around her father and her father was on there, and how he doted on her and all of that, and how she doted on him, yes, I 100% believe that that man would not change that will and take her out the will, nor take his grandkids out the will. Because the way that he was about to cut Jamal up in that restaurant, hell no. Hell no. So yeah, I do believe that wife did some fraudulent shit, and I do hope that Giselle get her little get it gets in her favor. Moving on from that, we finally get down there to the wedding. Jazzy has her wedding or whatever. Stacy and Ashley and Wendy were able to go. They was only going to go for a couple of hours. Then they had to catch a flight back down to Potomac, or I should say back up to Potomac, because they went to Dallas for the wedding. And then they do the pride stuff. This is Ashley's moment to dress up in her drag king wear. Okay, drag queen is when the men dress up as women. Drag king is when the women dress up as men. And so, she was doing all of that. Somehow Tia was attracted to it. Okay. I was like, girl, what? And speaking of Tia asked her husband and her daughter what happened at the birthday party. Bitch, let me tell you something. They was a little bit too lax, and for you to be from the South Side, Mr. Daddy, why you ain't taking no further actions? And I ain't talking about putting hands, baby. We gotta deal with this, because the party got a little bit out of hand, to the point where the little girl had to call the cops 5 times, and you weren't even around right then and there. And people possibly throwing up in people's rooms and stuff like that, and all because some little boy that was supposed to come got cut off the list, and so he got mad and he posted the address on the internet or whatever, on the Facebook group, probably trying to make it like a Project X. Did y'all got to see that? Go on Netflix under the train wreck series that they have, and the real life Project X. Bitch, let me tell you something. The way I be heated and everybody be getting sued for that, okay? And I'll be like, we gonna have to talk to his mama. We gonna have to talk to his daddy, and something gonna have to happen, because first of all, one, you put my address on the internet, baby. That's technically doxing, okay? And second, you bring all these random people up in my goddamn house, and I gotta call the cops. No. And then you just sitting there chilling. No. Okay. And then when it comes to birthdays, Wendy, I feel bad a little bit, because I understand. She's talking about the situation that was going on with her daddy. Her mama and her daddy had got divorced, and then her mama had got remarried when she was 15 years old. Her daddy stayed over there in Nigeria. She ain't seen him in 20 years. in the physical, but they do got a little group chat, and in the group chat, it was like days later after her birthday, he's saying happy birthday to one of the uncles or something like that, and never even mentioned Wendy's birthday. Bitch, I feel pissed off too. And trust and believe, because it happened to me before, it happened to me all the time. Okay? That nigga that's dead now, unfortunately, it is what it is. That's why I don't have no feelings, because we ain't had no real relationship. Like, the least you could do was to reach out and say happy birthday on my birthday. You never did that. So I get where she was coming from. But, when motherfuckers be up in their feelings about the fact that you ain't with them no more, sometimes they take it out on the kid, and they feel like, well, you want to take their ass all the way over there to America, so what they got to do with me? That could be it. I don't know. But hey, that's unfortunate. But back to the gay shit. Giselle shows up with her daughter Grace. Didn't Grace come out and say she was a little bisexual or something like that? Which is understandable. Okay, which is cool. Which would be the reason why she's probably there. I was like, okay, hey girl, welcome to the phone. Make yourself welcome. Okay. Everybody was having a good time. And then here come Ashley giving out these t-shirts with a drag king name. And I'm like, these are not drag king names, okay, first of all. And then why would you call Giselle Gizzalot or something like that? I was like, what the fuck? That was just really, she got a dick. I was confused. A couple of the names was all right, but that one threw me off. And mind you, what? It was just really weird. And they was like, her daughter is right there. I mean, technically, yeah, but at the same time, ain't no telling what little Grace been up there doing. I mean, it's gay month, so listen, we gonna do some crazy shit. But yeah, I just thought it was out of place. The name was just really dumb. Okay, but then all of a sudden, here come, hey, girl, Mon'nique came up in there crip walking, damn near. Okay, she saying, hey, what's up to everybody? Giselle looking like, bitch, what? Now, was that her hairstylist, Cal, or whoever that was next to her that she touched on the hand like this? Like, oh, my God. And then he went up and hugged Mon'nique right away. Girl, I was like, what is this, honey? And so they all was welcoming to her, and she even hugged Giselle. Giselle was like, what's up? She was like, what's up? How you doing? I said, okay. Giselle said, she has been thinking about Mon'nique. It's been a minute since the last time that they have seen each other. Their last encounter was not great. We all remember Bindergate, you know what I'm saying? Is Jamal here? Exactly. That we remember that. And so she said she knew about the divorce and things that was going on, and just trying to see where Mon'nique is at after this divorce, because she did feel like once she was in a group that she was not being who she truly was supposed to be, and has she come into her own and everything, and trying to see where her head is at. So on that front, I have to give it to Giselle. I'm okay with that. Like, I understand exactly where she's coming from with that. So it wasn't being mean. It wasn't being malicious. She's in a whole different energy. And it's like, yeah, because technically what is given, yeah, you embarrassed the shit out of me, but the stuff that you were saying in that binder wasn't a lie. And as you see, I'm not with the man anymore, and he done gone and got married to somebody else and all this other shit, that type of stuff. That's what it was given. And even at BravoCon, Mon'nique was there, and Giselle spoke on their relationship and said that they're cool. They're actually cool. They actually sat down and had a real conversation with each other. And see, that's what be needing to happen with these motherfuckers. Have conversation off the screen. And even if you do have it on, well, I would prefer it off the screen, because then it can be more real and we can get it all out instead of having a camera in your face or whatever, because it's going to get sliced, it's going to be edited and all of that stuff, and we don't need to do it in front of the group and all of that, but they did have an adult, mature conversation, and they hashed out everything, and they've been working on their relationship. So, I mean, growth, bitch. I can't ask for nothing more than that, because I don't want them come... And I'm saying this because the season for me has been positive in a sense. It has been positive. No real negative drama. that's really that major. And it's like, we're in 2025. Why are we bringing this old shit back? You know what I'm saying? But in the real world, bitch, I don't want to be around you after you done said some shit like that. But this is TV. This is TV. So we ain't even do that. And like I said, I ain't on that maturity level yet. But then when Mon'nique get there, and then Kiana was like, "Oh, so you know Stacy?" And she was like, "Why would I know Stacy? I don't even be outside." Well, Stacy was the one that said that she came across you a couple of times. She was like, "Here go Giselle." No, it was Chris. It was like, "What you mean?" No, oh. So it was Chris. All I heard was Samuels. That's what I heard. Now, Kiana, let me tell you something. You's a dirty bitch. Okay? You's a dirty bitch. And that's just what it is. And again, I need to understand what is your issue with Stacy, because you tried to blow up the spot and say, because Stacy was dating Chris. Quit saying that girl was dating him when all she did was probably go out on a date. One date. I don't consider that dating. I feel like dating means multiple times, okay? And even if she did, she's allowed to do so. Chris and Mon'nique are not together. Stacy don't know fucking Mon'nique, okay? And so therefore, why do y'all give a damn that Chris and Stacy went out on a fucking date with this man? Why do you give a damn if they probably slept together when she's with her husband? Somebody that you ain't got. She ain't do nothing wrong. Why y'all making it such a big deal? Why y'all trying to make issues that are not there? I'm so confused at what the fuck Kiana and Ashley is trying to do with this whole situation, because it's not giving to the audience what you're trying to give. Okay, like, stop it. You're flopping, bitch. Flop. Bitch. Anyway, that was the episode, y'all. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. And hopefully next week we'll be on time. Girl, and if I don't see you then, bitch, when is Thanksgiving? Mind you, I got to go to work the day before and the day after, so I ain't going nowhere for Thanksgiving this year. My people, they kind of upset. My little sister, she a little upset. Okay, it's next week. I'll see y'all next week then, before Thanksgiving. I thought, because one in last month, Thanksgiving was like on the 22nd or something like that. I said, why this shit came so early? Now it's back at the end of the month like it used to be. But anyway, y'all enjoy yourself. I hope your week is starting off well, and I hope it continue. And I will see you guys later. Peace.